Soft men react. Strong men. Observe, every man wants to think he's strong until life hits him in the face and he reacts like a child. The truth is, soft men react. Strong men watch. They wait. They calculate. Because the second you react emotionally, you hand over your power to someone else. When someone disrespects you and you immediately snap back, you're not strong. You're predictable. That's what weak men do. They get emotional over small things. They raise their voice. They argue. They try to win with words. But strong men? They don't flinch. They don't need to prove anything. They observe, and in silence, they decide what's worth responding to and what isn't. This is exactly what Epictetus taught. He said we are disturbed not by what happens, but by how we think about what happens. In other words, your reaction is a choice. A powerful man doesn't move unless it's necessary. He lets the noise pass right by him because he knows his peace is more valuable than proving a point. Think about this. You're out with your girl, and another guy tries to flex, talking loud, throwing slick comments, maybe even making a move just to test you. A soft man. He reacts instantly, gets in the guy's face, starts arguing, maybe even swinging. Now he looks insecure, he looks weak, because he couldn't control himself. But a strong man? He doesn't say much. He doesn't need to. He gives the guy a cold look, keeps his posture relaxed, stays silent, and waits. His girl watches his calm, controlled energy and feels something deeper than attraction. She feels respect, because she knows he's not afraid. He just chooses not to dance with clowns. Real strength isn't loud, it's quiet. It's in the ability to feel something rise inside you and choose not to feed it. That's what separates boys from men. Reaction versus restraint. So ask yourself, are you moving with purpose, or are you reacting like everyone else? Because the man who reacts is easy to break, but the man who watches, he's untouchable. She tests you to see if you break. Here's something most men don't want to admit. Women test you, not because they're evil, not because they're playing games, but because it's hardwired. She wants to know what kind of man you are. Can you hold your frame? Or do you crumble the second she pulls away, raises her voice, or acts cold? When a woman senses strength, she challenges it. When she senses weakness, she walks all over it. She's not looking for perfection. She's looking for stability. And if you're the type of man who panics when she gets distant, argues when she gives attitude, or chases when she goes silent, you're failing the test. You're showing her you need her approval. And the moment you start chasing validation, she stops feeling attraction. A woman wants to feel like the man she's with doesn't fall apart under pressure. Because if she's emotional and you're emotional, then who's leading? Who's grounding the energy? If both of you are reacting, who's the rock? Here's the real. She might ghost you for a day. She might ignore your message. She might even flirt with another guy just to see if you lose your mind. But the second you start blowing up her phone, asking what's wrong, begging for answers, you fail. Because that's not strength. That's fear. Fear of losing her. Fear of not being enough. Now imagine this instead. She sends a dry text. One-word reply. Maybe even nothing at all. And you? You don't react. You don't double text. You keep your day moving. You focus on your mission. You stay cool. And suddenly she starts thinking, why isn't he chasing? Why doesn't he care? That confusion, that curiosity, that's where the power shifts, because she was testing you and you didn't break. A man rooted in his purpose doesn't panic when a woman pulls back. He expects it. He knows the game. And he passes the test by staying grounded, silent, and focused. Never forget, a woman will test you, but she respects the man who doesn't flinch. Your emotions make you her puppet. Let's be honest. Most men out here are emotional wrecks. They just hide it under fake confidence, fake strength, fake alpha behavior. But the second a woman pulls back, says something cold, or doesn't respond how they want, they spiral. Suddenly it's, what did I do wrong? Should I text again? Is she seeing someone else? That's not masculine energy. That's emotional slavery. When your mood depends on how she feels about you, you've already lost. You're not thinking for yourself anymore. You're reacting to her. You wake up feeling good until she pulls away. Then suddenly your day is ruined. You were focused on your goals until she started acting cold. Now you can't concentrate. That's what being a puppet looks like. Your strings are in her hands. This is the raw truth. If she can control your emotions, she controls you. It's not about love or connection or being vulnerable. It's about discipline. The man who can't control his emotions is always chasing, always overthinking, always wondering where he stands. That's exhausting. That's weak. The dangerous thing is, most of it feels justified. You think you're just caring. You think you're being real. But what you're really doing is giving her emotional power that she never even asked for. And the more she feels that power, the less she respects it. Because women don't admire men, they can emotionally control. They might use you, they might keep you around, but they don't admire you. They don't desire you. And deep down, you know it. You've felt it before. That feeling of being trapped in your own head, watching yourself do things you promised you'd never do again. Double texting, over-explaining, apologizing when you didn't even do anything wrong. That's not strength. That's desperation wearing a mask. It's time to be real with yourself. If your emotions keep putting you in weak positions, then they're not helping you. They're owning you. And no man who wants to lead, inspire, or be respected can afford to be emotionally owned by anyone, especially not someone who's still trying to figure out how she feels about him. Take your power back. Control your emotions, or someone else always will. Silence is louder than begging. Let's call it what it is. Too many men today talk way too much, always trying to explain themselves, always trying to fix things with words, always trying to win her back with long texts, emotional confessions, or some deep monologue like it's a movie scene. But let me say this straight. She heard you the first time. She just didn't care. Begging doesn't move women. Silence does. Men have forgotten the power of restraint, the ability to shut your mouth and let your actions speak. Instead, you panic the moment she acts distant. And suddenly, you're typing a 4-paragraph message explaining your feelings like that's going to win her over. Newsflash, it won't. It never does. All you're doing is confirming what she already suspects, that you need her to feel okay. That's the ugly truth, and some of you need to hear it. You're talking too much because you're afraid of being forgotten. You're explaining yourself because you're insecure. You're chasing her with words because you don't have the discipline to walk away in silence. You think you're being honest, but really, you're just trying to bargain with your dignity. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need closure. You don't need to make her understand your side. What you need is to shut up and level up. You need to reclaim your focus. You need to stop pouring your energy into someone who's already made up their mind. Or worse, someone who's just toying with you to see how far you'll go. Silence isn't weakness. It's confidence. Silence says, I've said what I needed to say. The rest is on you. Silence is control. It leaves space for her to think, to reflect, to feel your absence. And when you learn to master that, you become unforgettable. Not because you begged for attention, but because you didn't. Men, it's time to wake up. All that talking you're doing, it's not strength, it's noise. And strong men don't make noise, they make moves. So stop begging, stop explaining, go silent. And let that silence echo louder than anything you could ever say. Attention is her power. Take it back. The most dangerous drug in a woman's world isn't love, it's attention. And you're probably the dealer. Every like, every view, every message, every time you check her story or respond to her little games, you're feeding the beast. And she knows it. She doesn't even have to try hard anymore. Just one photo, one little breadcrumb, and boom, there you are, watching, reacting, wanting. You think she's not aware? She knows exactly what she's doing. She may not text you back, but she'll post something subtle just to see if you're still watching. And guess what? You are, because you haven't learned how to stop giving away your power. Attention is the new currency. And if you're constantly spending it on someone who isn't giving anything back, you're broke, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. You're bankrupt, and she's walking away richer every time you feed the machine. Let's be real here. Women don't crave men's love anymore. They crave their attention, because love takes time. Love takes effort. Attention? That's quick. That's instant. That's addicting. And if you haven't trained yourself to control where your focus goes, she owns you. Some of you guys are handing out your attention like it's worthless. Always available, always online, always ready to respond. And then you wonder why she's cold, why she stopped respecting you, why she talks to you like she's bored. It's simple. You made yourself too easy to reach. You stopped being a challenge. You became her entertainment. Here's the shift. Take it back. Reclaim your attention. Guard it like it matters. Because it does. Stop watching everything she posts. Stop liking everything she shares. Stop reacting to her silence. Let her wonder where you went. Let her feel the weight of your absence instead of the comfort of your attention. Men weren't made to chase, they were made to lead. And you can't lead anything if your eyes are glued to a woman who barely acknowledges you. Your attention is your power, and every time you give it away for free, you tell the world you have no self-worth. So lock it down, refocus, and remember, the man who controls his attention controls everything. Your energy is sacred. Stop wasting it on women who drain you. Here's a fact that too many men ignore. Your energy is your most valuable asset. Every minute, every conversation, every ounce of focus you give to someone, especially a woman, costs you something. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself drained, stuck, and wondering where all that drive went. What most men don't realize is that not all attention is equal. Some people add to your life, and others take away from it. If you're constantly giving your energy to a woman who doesn't respect you, or one who pulls you in emotionally without giving anything back, you're wasting your most precious resource. Think about it. How many of you are spending hours trying to figure out what she meant by a short text or why she's not calling back? How many times have you found yourself chasing after a woman who's emotionally unavailable, only to end up feeling empty and confused? That's energy lost on someone who doesn't deserve it. Women who play games, keep you in limbo, or act hot and cold are energy vampires. They take from you without giving anything in return. They drain you emotionally, mentally, and even physically, leaving you with nothing but frustration and self-doubt. It's time to wake up. You cannot afford to give your energy to anyone who doesn't build you up. You're not here to chase, beg, or pour yourself into relationships that don't lift you higher. If you want to succeed, grow, and lead the life you're capable of, you need to guard your energy like it's your most valuable possession. Stop texting her when she doesn't respond. Stop chasing her when she pulls away. Stop trying to win over someone who isn't giving you the same effort in return. You're wasting your potential, your time, and your energy. Here's the hard truth. If a woman isn't contributing to your life in a meaningful way, let her go. Your energy is sacred, and you should only share it with those who value it. Stop wasting it on women who don't respect it, and start investing it in yourself. Build your purpose, Focus on your goals and surround yourself with people who elevate you. That's how you build a life that matters. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. You don't need her approval to feel complete. Here's the cold truth. Too many men are out here seeking validation from women, and it's making them weak. You're looking for approval in all the wrong places, as if her opinion is what defines your worth. And that's exactly why you're stuck. Stop for a second and ask yourself, why do you feel incomplete when she doesn't acknowledge you? Why does her silence feel like a personal attack? Why are you waiting for her to approve of your actions, your lifestyle, your choices? You don't need her approval to feel like you're enough. You are enough, right now, as you are. Men today are being conditioned to think that their value depends on how much attention they can get from a woman. You think that if she likes your posts, laughs at your jokes, or shows interest in you, then you're validated. But that's weak. That's putting your entire self-worth in her hands, and that's not real power. Let me be clear. You don't need her to say you're good enough. You don't need her to choose you, to put you on a pedestal, or to stroke your ego. Your value doesn't change based on her feelings. If you base your self-worth on her mood, you're always going to be chasing. You'll always feel like you're not enough, and that's a trap. Men who need approval are men who lack confidence in themselves. They depend on external validation to feel good about their achievements. But true confidence doesn't rely on anyone else. It comes from knowing who you are and standing by it, regardless of what anyone thinks. Here's the challenge. Stop waiting for her to tell you that you're amazing. Stop hoping for the right response, the perfect reaction. Live your life on your terms. Build your identity without seeking her stamp of approval. When you stop caring about her opinion, that's when you become magnetic. That's when she starts to take you seriously. Because when she sees that you're not needy, that you're whole on your own, that's when she'll want to be a part of your life. You are not defined by her. You are defined by what you accomplish, how you think, how you lead, and how you carry yourself. Get used to the idea that you're already complete. The right woman will see that and respect you for it. Stop chasing her. Start living your life. Let's get real. Far too many men are caught up in a cycle of chasing. Chasing her texts, chasing her approval, chasing her attention, like that's going to fulfill them. And I'm here to tell you, that's a losing game. When you're always chasing, you're never leading. When you stop focusing on the chase, you free yourself. You shift your energy from desperately trying to win someone over to living your own damn life. And here's the thing. Women respect men who are busy living their own life, not those who revolve around theirs. You want her to respect you? Then start respecting your own time, your own goals, and your own purpose. Every time you chase, you reinforce that her value is higher than yours. You give her the power. You make yourself small and act like you're at her mercy. But real men don't chase. They lead. They pursue their goals. They build their purpose. They move forward without looking back. And guess what happens? Women begin chasing them. Let's be honest. How many of you have waited for a text, checking your phone every 5 minutes like you're waiting for the universe to give you some sign of life? How many times have you rearranged your day just to be available when she needs you, thinking that this is going to impress her? It won't. When you make her the center of your universe, you forget who you are. Your life becomes about her, not about you. And that's the quickest way to lose your attraction factor, to lose everything that made you interesting in the first place. So stop. Stop waiting around. Stop chasing the girl who's giving you crumbs. Instead, go after your own dreams. Build your career. Get fit. Focus on your passions. The more you invest in yourself, the more you take control of your life, and the less power she has over you. It's not about playing games. It's about living with purpose. You're the prize, not her. And when you finally realize that, when you stop looking for validation from her and start living for yourself, you'll see the shift. Women will start noticing you differently because men who live with purpose, men who have their own lives to focus on, are the men who attract. Your independence is irresistible. Never let anyone take it from you. The moment you start losing your independence for a woman, you've lost. And here's why. Your independence is what makes you attractive. It's the reason you stand out. It's the reason she's drawn to you in the first place. When you have your own life, your own goals, your own sense of self, you're powerful. You're someone she has to earn. But the moment you begin to let your world revolve around her, that's when the attraction starts fading. You've given up the one thing that sets you apart from the masses of men out there: your freedom. Independence is attractive because it signals strength, confidence, and emotional maturity. When you're independent, you're not desperate for validation. You're not dependent on her to feel good about yourself. You've got your own purpose, your own direction, and that's magnetic. Women are drawn to men who are focused on something bigger than themselves. The problem is, many men have forgotten what it feels like to be independent. They've been conditioned to believe that in order to keep a woman, they need to give up their time, their goals, their passions, even their friends, just to keep her happy. But that's a mistake. You know why? Because the moment you start sacrificing your independence, you start losing your identity. You become her guy instead of yourself. And here's the harsh truth. No woman wants to be with a man who doesn't have his own life. She wants someone who can stand on his own, who doesn't need her to complete him. This isn't just about relationships. It's about life. You should never, under any circumstances, give up your independence for anyone. When you stop living your own life, you become less interesting. You become predictable. You become someone who is available at her convenience. And that's when the attraction fades. So here's the hard truth. If a woman is trying to take away your independence, if she's demanding your time or trying to control where you put your energy, that's a red flag. Don't give in. Protect your freedom at all costs. Women love men who are strong enough to stand on their own, who can keep their boundaries, and who are busy building their own future. Never forget that you are the prize. Your independence is the foundation of that prize. Don't let anyone, not even the woman you like, take it from you. The more you stand firm in your independence, the more irresistible you become. Stop being available. Become a man of mystery. Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. Being too available makes you predictable, and predictability is one of the quickest ways to kill attraction. You've got to learn how to be scarce. When you're constantly at her beck and call, you're giving away your power. You're handing her control, and that's the fastest way to lose her interest. You've probably heard it before. Play hard to get. But here's the thing. It's not about playing games. It's about creating value through your time. When you're always available, you're telling her that your life revolves around her. But when you're busy, when you've got your own things going on, that's when she starts to wonder about you. That's when she starts to chase. Being mysterious isn't about being an enigma for the sake of it. It's about having your own life, your own goals, your own passions, and not letting anyone, especially a woman, steal your focus. It's about being unpredictable, but not in a way that feels fake. It's simply about not letting anyone expect your next move. Don't always be available for her texts. Don't always be ready for a date. Don't let her think she knows exactly where you are or what you're doing at every second. Why? Because people who are constantly around lose their allure. And women are no different. They're drawn to men who have lives outside of them, men who aren't waiting around to entertain them. It makes you interesting. And that's what attraction is built on. If you're always available, she knows everything about you. There's nothing left to discover. And once that happens, the excitement fades. Here's the key. Stop being the guy who drops everything just to respond to her text. Stop rearranging your schedule for her. When she knows you're busy, she knows you have value. And when she knows you have value, she's going to want you even more because scarcity creates demand. It's not about playing games, it's about preserving your worth. So, be a man who has his own life, his own goals, and his own time. Make her wonder what you're up to. Make her think about you when you're not right there in front of her. That's how you become irresistible. That's how you gain respect. Stop being available all the time. Become a man of mystery and watch how the dynamics shift in your favor. Let me leave you with a harsh truth, one that may sting a little. The moment you let a woman become your everything, you become nothing. That's the reality most men are too afraid to face. When you put a woman on a pedestal, when your entire life revolves around getting her approval, you lose yourself. And let me tell you, nothing is more unattractive than a man who has nothing else going on. She doesn't want to be with a man who needs her. She wants to be with a man who chooses her, who has his own purpose, his own life, and is strong enough to stand on his own. So ask yourself, are you living for her? Or are you living for yourself? If you're putting your happiness, your future, your goals in her hands, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. That's when you start acting needy, desperate, and unattractive. That's when she begins to lose interest because, deep down, she knows you're not offering her the best version of yourself. You're offering her the leftovers, the weak, watered-down version of who you really are. But here's the silver lining. You can change this. You can take control of your life. You can start living for yourself. And once you do that, you'll notice how much more power you have in your relationships. You'll notice how much more respect you get from women. Not because you're playing some game, but because you've finally learned that you're the prize. So let me hear from you. How have you experienced this? Have you been that guy who chased, who made himself available, and lost respect in the process? Or have you learned the power of your own independence? Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Share your experiences with me, and I'll personally respond. I want to hear about your journey and how you're starting to live by these principles. We're building a community here, and I want to connect with you all. So don't hold back. Let's talk about it. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit subscribe. You don't want to miss more powerful content like this. Stay strong. Keep pushing forward, and remember, you are the prize.